Welcome back to the Better Way to Getaway. We are in the snow. As you can see. How good is that, hey? Who else tests their products like this? Hey, it's all good and well to sell a van, but can you live in it? And would you take it to the snow with your 7-month-old child? A lot of brands I wouldn't, but I have with mine. So Crusader Composite, Crusader fully composite, 40mm roof, 40mm floor, 30mm on the side. What does that mean? Well, let's show you. Let's show you in real time what that actually means. Okay, so, oh, hang on. Lost you for a second. I'm going to flick you around. You're not going to see much more of me, but you're not here to see me, so probably everyone wins. All right, so here we go. So take a look around, guys. Very, very sad fire. It's still there, but that hasn't gone to plan. Anyway, starting a fire in the snow is probably not the easiest thing, but I've probably made it a lot harder than what it should be. Anyway, we're not here to watch the fire. So caravans. A lot of people would think they all look the same, but how they're built is the biggest thing. How they're different from each other. So there's only a few companies that build with composite. Now, in the sales speech that you get at shows, that in yards or whatever it is, you hear a lot of things about composite. And normally they say a lot of things about composite because how do you actually compete and sell when you're still making your van with a timber frame or with an aluminium frame and then having to put your own insulation in the middle of it? And I can tell you right now, aluminium and timber are non-insulator. So how do you compete? And the weight factor of composite, obviously. There'd be a fact sheet I can put up in this video. But that's the biggest thing I want to say is how do you compete with it? Well, you compete by saying nonsense. That's what you say. That's how you sell. Exactly how you sell. You take your mind away from the good things of composite and you put it onto price. You put it onto, you know, we've been with timber for 20 years. Well, Crusader's been around for 23, 24 years. And Crusader started with timber. Now, timber's nothing wrong with timber frame van. Let's put that out there right now. There's seriously nothing wrong with building with timber. It's a good van, but there's better ways of doing it. And if you're spending upwards of 60K and up, I mean, we have a new model now. We have a new, not a model, a whole new brand called Dreamhaven. They start around the 60,000. So you can get, there's no excuse, you can get in a composite van, same way this is built, for 60K. This van here is 150, roughly 150,000. But we put a lot of things on this. So I don't want to dwell on the price of that. So 60 grand and up, you can get in a composite van. So anyone can get in one. So if you're looking at a van, that is. So let's have a look at this camera. So this camera we got here, I'm going to screen record this, okay? Because if it doesn't come out that well, then what we'll do, we'll just overlay this in the video. But I'd prefer it to be on here. I might look agricultural, but I can explain things in real time. So what it's showing is the temperature. So you can see on there, the snow is -5. The fire is very poor. Was that 20 degrees, it says. It's a bit far away if we go in a little bit. And there is a flame. Oh, it's above 150 degrees, okay? So that's that. This would just tell us the temperature of things around us. So let's look at the side of the van here. So on the side of the van, -2.4 degrees. All right, we'll do one tonight as well, just so it's a bit different, so you can see that. But -2 degrees, and the floor is -5. So without that on there, you can see that. So -2 and -5. So it's pretty close. That wall is going to go down and down until it's the same temperature as everything on the outside. But the biggest thing here, let's turn this on the side here. The biggest thing, we can see that, yeah? You can sort of see the van in there. I want everyone to see is there's no hot spots in our wall. There's hot spots, so you see how it's orange, all right, and then yellow. They are windows, they are doors, and I've got the tunnel boot open. All right, and that's just the timber under there. But in the composite itself, there is no leakage of heat. So on the inside of that van, I mean, look at that wall's now minus 4.7. Okay, so that is cold, guys. I can feel it because my hand is freezing. But so let's go back to this way. So what I really want everyone to gauge here, minus 4.7. Minus 4.7. But the whole wall is the same. See, there's no hot spots coming through our wall, and that's that composite. Where we got vents, where we got windows, yes, obviously, there's nothing you can do about that. You need windows, you need that stuff. But the actual wall is not letting out the heat. So, if we take a traditional van, a timber frame, aluminium frame, any frame van, there's losses in insulation. There's no way you can insulate it. And you have a look at, you just type it on Google very quickly, or might put something in this video. Just a de-skinned timber frame to aluminium frame van. It's very rare are they fully insulated. So with this, you can't ever, it's not man that put this insulation in. This is a machine, it's composite panels. All right, there'll be a link below of this video that will actually tell you, all right, we'll show you how the composite's made, in case you're interested. But look at that, minus 6 now. It's getting colder as we're out here. It's intriguing. It might be just difference in ranges, but there you go. So the side of the van is minus 6. It's unbelievable. All right, and we go up here. Obviously, the difference is as we go in the tunnel, but that there is our, where the Barbie and toolbox and all that is. It's minus 6 in there. Now under the bed there, what's that? 2 degrees in there. So that poor old heater would be working flat out now because we've got the tunnel boot open, all the cold drafts going in that way. It is sealed in that, but again, guys, it's just a board of, it's marine plywood that separates it. So this is basically, look, this is what it would be, is if you had timber frames in the van. As you can see here, you see the losses, minus 6. So the heater's having to work flat out because it's not insulating that section. That's quite funny, actually. I wanted to show you what a van would be like if it was a frame van, and this basically shows you. So you can see there, 3 degrees, 4 degrees. The other side of that timber is probably 20 degrees, but the losses of it would be mental. So that's a big thing. You shut that door, heats up in there, and it gets a lot better. But right now, the air goes straight in there. So let's walk around the van here. So let's go to the back. What's that? Minus 8. Minus 8 on the back of the wall of the van there. It is cold. It really is cold. Minus 8 on this wall. Again, look, it's like you got a timber frame van. 1 degree. That's 1 degree in there. So let me shut that. And it will start heating up now, because now it's got 2 layers of insulation that it's trying to insulate in there. All right. What's the ground here? My goodness. The ground is minus 12. Doesn't go below minus 12, so who knows what it is. 8 degrees there. 9 degrees. Minus 9, sorry. That's but you look at this, yeah? We're in the snow. It's minus 12, that snow is. And through here, there is no losses apart from where our windows are. And that's what composite gives you. That is the meaning of composite, is that it's insulated. When we say insulated, this is what insulation looks like. One side's minus 8. All right, let's go to the inside. We'll go to the inside and we'll just quickly have a look in here. And you have a look at the difference here. All right. inside we go. So, it's the inside of the van. Our van, you would have seen this by now anyway. So not that exciting. But what we're in here is to see what temperatures are in the van. So, let's see. This wall, if we remember, I think it was -8 out there. Look at that, 17.7. Internally, the whole way through. Alright, let's just drop it down a little bit. It's just where the heater probably hasn't got to it. 19 degrees. And that is what composite is, guys. Can't show you any more plain than that. 19 degrees on the walls. Remember, the other side is -8. That's a differential of nearly 30 degrees, I think. I'm on holidays. My brain's not working. I don't hear you. Look at this. What's the roof? 18. 18 degrees on the roof. $20 degrees on the roof. On these bunk windows. Well, not windows. On the bunk wall. Remember, the heat doesn't get in here barely. 16, 17 degrees. Guys, that is exciting. As someone who's living in a van right now and in the snow, that is beyond exciting. You can see on the ground there, those cold spots are where my feet have been because I was just in the snow. If we can get away from there, the floor is 16 degrees. All right, that snow, well, it's -10 or something, that snow is. And that would be rating straight up through there, and the floor is 16 degrees. Now let's have a look in here. This is, the heater does not get in here. All right? When I say that, it wouldn't affect the temperature of the floor. 15 degrees on the floor. All right? Where the heater doesn't even touch. That is absolutely insane, guys. Let's have a look in the shower. So the other thing we have is in our shower, we have, it doesn't really matter because you've got hot water that goes on there. 13 degrees is the floor in there. I mean, no heater's ever got in here, mind you, so check that out. 16 degrees on the wall. This door's been shaved since we've stopped. So, the insulation of these vans are mind-boggling. We're outside on those walls are -8 right now. It was 18 degrees in here. That's preposterous. What is that? It's 20 degrees, is it? Yeah, 20 degrees difference, I think. I don't know. You someone work it out. You guys would know. How good is that? So, we'll go outside and I'll go through it again, but you can see the difference in there on the inside of this van. It is not cold at all. Alright. Anyone's saying, oh, that could be faked. Well, it's not faked, look. We're in the snow. Literally in the snow. I said we wanted to come to the snow, but we got here. So, the way this van works is it's freezing. It was below freezing out here. You don't get snow unless it's below freezing. And on the inside of there, the walls are, 18 to 20 degrees. The air itself is roughly 23, 24. That's what the heater's set to. And then it will turn itself off soon. And that is why when we talk composite, when we talk Crusader's composite, all right, and it's Australian made composite, so we're obviously all for Australian made. That's all we want to build up our own nation, so Australian made's always a big thing. But the fact of just take that scenery in, how good is that? That's just unbelievable. But composite, insulation, heat difference, the whole way over this whole van is the same temperature. And that's what you get. Right, that's freezing on there. That's so cold. That's the difference. So, yeah, that's a bit of it. We'll put a bit more. I'll put a link up to what meter we're using to tell you guys what the actual temperature is. It's a Fluke meter. It's a very good quality meter. But yeah, guys, that's it. We're in the snow, and you can see the benefits of composite when you're in the extremes like this. Toasty on the inside, freezing on the outside. Doesn't matter where you want to camp. At the end of the day, you're going to be fined everywhere. So, yeah. Better way to get away, Cameron Caravans. Use the product. Something that I really want everyone to take in is that we're not just given great service after sales, and you can have a look at everything for that. Don't just take my word for it. We use the product. We live and breathe caravanning. It's not just a business to us, it's our life. It's something we love doing. So yeah, here we go, guys. You probably don't want to see me too much, but better way to get away. And we're loving it.